Hey guys, it's Cassie and today we are going to be talking about the best and worst investment bags to buy in 2022. I'm going to be going through some specific brands and bags. I'm also going to be referencing the Claire report published by Rebag, which has some very interesting findings. Guys, if you are new here, my name is Cassie and I'm a self-diagnosed luxury addict. I put out videos on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays, so if you like luxury fashion, then you're going to love it here. So head down and subscribe, turn on the bell, become a member of our luxury addicted family. When are we going to rehab? Never. Guys, are you ready? Let's jump into it. We're going to be starting on the best and ending with the worst. Okay, so when it comes to the best investment bags, it really keeps coming back to three main brands, okay? That's your Chanel, your Louis Vuitton, your Hermes. There is another brand that I will be talking about that over the last couple of years, the value has crept up. Going back to the main three, really, there are two reasons as to why these brands keep their value. For Chanel and Louis Vuitton, price increases. They keep putting their prices up. It used to be on, you know, like kind of twice a year basis. Now it's whenever they feel like it. That means that if you buy a bag 2 years ago for one price, 2 years time it's already shot up. And that's just the store price, you know? And the other reason is sort of limiting quantities. Okay, let's start off with Louis Vuitton. Now, these are the specific styles from Louis Vuitton that have performed particularly well. Okay, these are the ones that out of all of them, you get more money back than what you paid. On average, about 125%, okay? So you've got the pochette accessoire, and that is this like tiny little pochette pouch bag. This has always been quite popular, and I think even more recently, what with the rise of TBE, tiny bag energy, it's even more sought after. It's always sold out on the website. It's hard to get. The Never Full, very much a Louis Vuitton classic. The Felicie pochette and the Palm Springs backpack. Now, another example I did want to cover, as it is a bag that I have and has been very popular over the last couple of years since it came out in 2019. The Louis Vuitton multi-pochette accessoire. The retail price for this is £1,650, which is crazy because I think I spent £1,050, £1,150, something like that. 2 or 3 years later, that's shot up in price. From what I've seen of what they're selling at, you can pretty much get back what you made from this, if not a little bit more. When it comes to your Speedy, your Almas and your Artsy, on average, you're not going to get back 100% of what you paid, but you're probably going to get between 60 and 70%. Also, another thing to note from Louis Vuitton is that they're trying to cut back on the number of monogram items that they release. So, what with a limited pool, those kind of very classic monogram items, value goes up on the resale market. Okay, let's talk about Chanel. Chanel is constantly in everybody's bad books because of the number of price increases they've had over the last, 2 or 3 years alone. It's been more than ever, and it's not been a 2% here and there, you know, it's a 15, it's a 20%. Those prices are going up significantly, okay? However, this is what helps the investment value of Chanel bags. That means that they retain their value over time, if not make money. Now, we've also noticed that more recently in stores, they're limiting the quantities of classic flaps, cocoa handles, those very popular styles. It's those factors that help their value shoot up on the resale market. Now, apparently, out of all of the Chanel bags, the one that you can get the most for on the resale market now is the Chanel 19. You're looking at an average of 110% value retention for this bag, right? So you're making 10% basically if you wanted to sell it. The other Chanel bags that retain like a very close to 100% of their original value is the cocoa handle, the classic flap in the medium size, and the Chanel Dovie tote. The Dovie, I was a little bit surprised to see that. However, it kind of makes sense. It's a seasonal bag, but it's very popular. It's a style that a lot of people like. I can see that happening because there's limited quantities. It's a seasonal piece, you know. It's interesting to see that out of all of the classic flap sizes, it's the medium that's the one that's retaining its value. The Chanel bags that, compared to the others, have the worst value retention, but still it's pretty good. You're going to get between 60% to 80% of what you paid for the bag. The Chanel boy bag makes sense, it's not as popular as it once was. The Gabrielle, and also the Maxi Classic flap. Again, we've sort of, over the last few years, we've gravitated away from the big, massive swamp me bags, you know, and that's reflected on the resale market. So if you're into the market for a Maxi, then there you go. And now the upper echelon of investment bags. Hermes. Every single time, if investment value is what you're bothered about when it comes to building your collection, these are the only bags that you walk out of the store and you can make 3 times what you just paid. It's insane. And that is because of the Hermes game. The fact that we have to jump through hoops in order to possibly be offered one of these holy grail bags, you know. All of that works in the favour of the value of the bag. With Hermes, it's less so about price increases, because they do have the odd price increase. To be honest with you, it's more reasonable than what Chanel and even Louis Vuitton have been doing over the past few years. But it's more so that limiting of stock, or not even limiting of stock, but limiting your access to stock. A lot of Hermes bags, to be very honest with you, do a good job in retaining their value, but really you're going to be looking at the quota bags. It's your Birkins, your Kellys, your Constance. So for example, I bought this bag, what was it, like 6,700? The exact bag was going for about £18,000. So what, almost 3 times what I just paid. Certain sizes perform better on the resale market. So right now, while everybody is more into these smaller bags, the 25 and the 30 is retaining more of its value than the 35s, the HACs and things like that. TBE. I feel like TBE is not a trend, it's a lifestyle, okay? But anyway, so if investment value is what you're bothered about, you can't go wrong with a Birkin, Kelly or a Constance. Somebody will always want it. Now let's talk about Bottega. There's a little bit of an up-and-comer in the sort of, you know, investment bags, all of that. Now, as we know, over the last couple of years, whatever, they've had a new creative director who has made Bottega bags, they are pretty much this sort of generation's it bags. And because of that now, will you get 100% of your money back on all Bottega styles? No. But the value retention over the last couple of years has just continued to increase. They do have a new creative director, so with him will come more styles. My prediction is that they'll keep these popular styles. The Bottega style that actually keeps its value the best is the cassette belt bag, which really surprised me. I don't know why. And then you've got the Jodie, the chain cassette, and the chain pouch that are retaining about 85% of their value. So compared to a lot of the other brands that we'll be going into in the worst, they're retaining much more of their value compared to those brands, and in some cases more than some Chanel bags and some Louis Vuitton bags as well. It's very interesting as well because Bottega is seen to be a very trendy brand, and a lot of the bag designs are very trendy. So who knows how long this sort of value retention will last, but right now they're doing a decent job. Now let's move on to the worst investment bags. Pretty much every other brand. Now, of course, there are exceptions, and I will touch on a couple of examples of those exceptions. On average, YSL, Gucci and Dior, they're probably retaining about 60% of their value. All of the other brands tend to fall below that. Your Givenchy, Celine, Valentino, Prada, Fendi, Balenciaga, brands like that. And I think that they all kind of have different or a combination of reasons. You know, some of those brands, Valentino and Givenchy, their bags tend to go on sale a lot. That doesn't help with value retention, but it also means that really good deals can be found on these bags on the resale market. Other reasons as to why they don't keep their value include these brands don't have as frequent price increases, okay? They also don't tend to limit stock. If you want a YSL bag, you can walk in and get it. And again, that goes against them when it comes to investment, you know, value and all of that. Now, a couple of exceptions that I did want to use as examples. We have the Gucci Balenciaga Hourglass bag, okay? Two brands that historically don't really retain their value when it comes to bags, but because this was a limited edition piece, limited stock, all of that, the retail price for this bag was $1,740, and right now on the resale market, these are going for at least $2,600, mainly around the $3,000 kind of price point. Another example for you is the Prada Crystal Re-Edition. This launched towards the end of 2020, and initially it came out in quite limited stock. They definitely have more stock of this bag now. It's a bit more readily available than it was. So the amount that you can get for this bag has gone down compared to what it was when this first launched. But even still now, this bag retails for $1,300, and these are selling for between $1,500 and $1,800, especially in specific colours that are only available in certain countries. So there are always exceptions to the rule, and I hope that this is helpful. I do also want to say that personally, I don't buy my bags based on investment value. I've got lots of bags here that are, you know, not worth half of what I paid for them, because for me that's just not a priority of mine. But I understand how it is for people, and some people really just want to have a collection of high value bags and whatever. So I hope that this is helpful. Either way, if you make your decisions based on that or not, I think it's interesting to kind of follow and learn about. I personally find it fascinating, so I like to kind of keep track and all of that. So there we go. Hope you learned something. I'm going to leave a link to another video here in case you haven't already seen it. Have an amazing morning, afternoon or evening wherever you are. And in the words of my father,
if you've enjoyed it, tell your friends. If you haven't, keep your mouth shut.
I'll see you in my next video. Mwah. Bye guys.